Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to, this is week 8. Week 7. Yeah, week 7. Yeah. Week 7 of our Muslim Basketball Podcast. I'm your host, Ibrahim Shatila. And here I have two very special guests. We have Farhan Yousaf and Mahrooz Qaderi. Did I say your last name right?
Yeah, you did.
All right, sounds good. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you guys here. It's going to be a good episode, I feel.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, before we get in, I don't think I have any. Before we get any further, our main theme for Muslim basketball, as everyone knows, you guys know the drill here. We start every podcast, we talk about Palestine. So the situation is always evolving. Make sure you keep up to date with that stuff. Keep them in your dua, inshallah. And be grateful for the blessings that we have in our lives. For sure. And especially even we have a group of Muslim brothers here that we're playing basketball with every week. That's definitely a blessing here that not everybody has the luxury to have. So. Keep them in your dot, and let's move forward, shall we? Inshallah?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so no announcements outside of that, just the regular stuff. Get to your games on time. That's probably the biggest one. I know we still have people coming in late, stuff like that, delays the games. So just make sure everyone's getting here on time, inshallah. And without further ado, let's get right into the games.
Yep.
So, I didn't even do my questions here. Okay, so I didn't prepare them, but I kind of have. I just we'll see where the conversation takes us. But what are your guys' basketball experience? So let's start with who wants to start actually.
No, Mahrooz.
Okay, tell me your basketball experience. Go ahead.
I think I started playing maybe 8th grade. Mm-hmm. Middle school team. Played a little bit of high school, a little bit of college, but I actually stopped playing for a little bit, and then. When I picked up MB a couple of seasons ago is when I really ramped it back up. So
you live in your hoop dreams.
Kind of, yeah, absolutely. I love MB.
I love it too, yeah.
That's kind of
okay. Did you ever play college or anything like that?
Just a little bit of junior college, just because I was at the school. But played a couple years of high school.
Was it the first sport you played?
It was the only sport I played.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah, I played a lot at the park and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just randomly hopped on the team. And,
okay.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. What about you, Farhan?
I played 2 years of high school, but I was like the reserve.
Yeah.
Reserve, like I couldn't even practice sometimes. Like they're like, practice here, practice there. So I was like kind of not there most of the time, but they'll have me in. I was like more like scout team, right?
Okay, I got you.
So I played in the summers for the team, but like in the winters, like was on the team, but not really on the team.
Yeah.
Mostly the track, but other than that, no. That was my only experience.
What other sports you play?
Frisbee.
Frisbee, nice.
Really love Frisbee. Played on some teams in college. Other than that, that's really it. Just Frisbee and basketball.
Okay, this one goes out to both of you. We actually were just talking a little bit here about like team dynamics and stuff like that. What of that do you want to make public?
Team dynamics.
Yeah, tell me about your team. Like, how do you guys handle losses? Tell me about like how does the pecking order go? Tell me anything you can or want to say about the team.
Well, the thing with our team is like I guess we're all like adults. I don't know if we're the second oldest team, but I feel like we're up there. We have a couple dads.
Yeah,
I think majority of our team is dads, right? So I guess when it comes to losses, I think only Ruz and Cinder. I mean, we haven't lost with Cinder yet.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen him yet. We haven't seen that side yet. But like when we lost at Ruz, Ruz and Sal, I think Sal Raheen are the first ones to kind of get on us a little bit.
Yeah.
Abdurrahman is very positive most of the time. Like, hey, we lost, but let's go game, right? I reassure everyone. I try my best too, but I think we try not to take it too hard because we're like, we got to work this week, right? Tomorrow's Monday. So.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sunday nights, it's like you get your win or loss on Sunday, and the rest of the week is ahead of you. It kind of sucks.
It really sets the tone, kind of.
Yeah, it does.
So this is going to be a good week or a bad week.
I think we have a lot of accountability on our team.
Yeah.
Like Farhan said, we've got some older guys, and after losses, we don't dwell on it too long. We kind of identify what the actual mistakes were. Not too much finger pointing. So I think we have a good dynamic.
That's good. Yeah.
We've definitely, I think, if the first game we had a lot of issues, second game we had issues, and then even after wins, we're kind of looking at okay, what could have we done better? We had too many fouls this game. We fixed it up the next game. We're not rebounding. We learn how to box out the next game. So we're always improving or trying to improve.
So you're saying, okay, on a game-by-game basis, you guys are improving based off of what you guys see. Now, let me ask you this. Inside of a single game, right? If somebody's taking a bad shot, or if something happens that you look at and you're like, I didn't really like that possession.
Right.
What happens? Tell me how you guys recover from that. What you guys do? Like,
I think we got a couple of guys who are not afraid to be vocal, and I think you need that on every team.
Okay.
So for us, I think that's Sinjir. I think he's kind of our main voice. We have Nawaz as well. I think he's a really good leader for us, but they're not afraid to be honest, and I think every team needs some guys like that because like me, I'm not gonna say too much to you. I just want you to work through it. But again, I think team dynamics, you sort of need different things at different times, and we have a lot of that. And I think guys do a good job of stepping up. Maybe we do a good job of keeping it open and like leaving that room for everybody to be able to.
I got you. Okay.
Sal is also that way. Sal will let you know if
for sure.
He'd be like, there's no reason why that shot should have happened. There's no reason why that person should have been open.
And you need that.
Yeah, you need it. You might not like it in the moment, but you need it at that.
So how does it work after that? Does the change immediately happen? Do you guys feel like, or does it?
Yeah.
Is there ever a situation where like you guys just talked about something and then it just happens again and over and over and over again?
Yeah. Sometimes I think I'm a little stubborn. Sometimes like Sinjir tells me things and I'm slow to get to it, but. Again, I think it goes back to like us having that level of communication between us, where they don't feel bad about coming up to you again, like, "Yo, get your head." We just have that dynamic. I love that about our team.
I would say the most the biggest example I have is there was one team, the one versus Nazareth in week 4, and we were bringing it back, and Shafiq hit 2 open threes on us.
Right.
Like no one was covering him as he walked it up, and Sal comes up to us. Sal's like, yeah, we didn't lose by a lot, but what was that?
Yeah.
Like, that's an issue.
Yeah.
And then we just went back to, like, basics. Call your number on every single possession. And even now, like, last week, we're like, oh, I got 3, I got 1, I got that. So, like, we're very...
Suck, you're saying. Okay.
Exactly. So, like, we're learning how to go. We're playing, like, beginner basketball almost in certain ways, but it's helping us.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if it goes back to basics and it works, right?
Yeah, it does.
That's kind of the theme with us right now, keeping it simple. But yeah, I think guys are definitely, we can be objective. Like, that's a bad shot, but we don't let that bleed over into the next few possessions of the next game. We kind of leave it where it is, identify what the issues were. So
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, and what team would you guys say is like the biggest threat to you guys?
3 and 2. 2 teams?
Yeah, sure, name 2.
Yazur for me.
Yeah, 100%. That's like a given, right? But
also,
I mean, Nazareth.
Okay.
Easily.
Nazareth,
I'd be like, I've known those boys for the longest time. And, like, I've been seeing, like, the growth of Ilyas, too. I probably told a bunch of people, like back in 2019, he was coming off the bench for, like, Palermo back then. Yeah. And, like, slowly, you see him become this dog almost, right?
No, straight up, a dog is exactly right.
Like, he's a like, his confidence is, like, insane now. And then they're also with Shafiq and Mana, and like they have Amir Hassan, right? It's just
Amir's so tough.
They're besides Yazur, they're the most complete team. I think they verse each other week 8.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game.
It's going to be a fun game because then you'll see who's the top person, the top team.
Absolutely.
I think right now it's 100% like Nazareth after Yazur, which is a given, right?
Yeah. Okay, sure. I respect both teams a lot. They're good at different things. That 1-2 punch that Nazareth has, man, is Mana to me is. To me, top guy in the league, just because he does everything, man. The guy doesn't stop. His motor's incredible. Like, you can't get much more out of a person than you get from Mana. In 40 minutes. Man. That dude does everything he can. And then Shafiq is probably one of the smartest guys in the league.
100%.
Over the course of a game, man, they're just going to make you pay, consistently, and you have to be perfect to beat them a lot of times. So
I think Mahrooz never like hypes up any players, like not much, but he comes out there, he's like, Mana is force. You cannot play this, right? Or like, but then also at the same time, I think when we're versing Nazareth, like, yo, everyone knows Shafiq's go-to move, right? Everyone knows
nobody can stop it,
but no one can stop it, right? Like, even though we told our defenders, like, he's gonna do this, like, he's gonna do a step back or go, and they're like, oh, we got it. How many times did our players like fall back, right? It's
quality over quantity when it comes to that. He just really knows how to use those.
He's so like unemotional too, which goes such a long way because when you're unemotional and you're down by a couple points, like that's like cool-headed person, like you're gonna lead them to wins 100%.
I think there's definitely a couple sleeper teams. So like Baysan to me is a very good team. Maybe some games they have to figure some stuff out, but man, those guys are all really good basketball players. They're smart. They get the game. They defend. So I can see them kind of turning it up a notch for the last couple weeks and sneaking up on a couple of teams. And then Areeha, they're 6-1, man. We can't just look right past them. Those guys are good.
Yeah, they are. Sabra. I mean, let's hope they're 6-2 after this week. But also we mentioned Tulkarem, right?
Tulkarem,
Right,
they're 2-5.
That's a sleeper.
I think after that game, all of us went out to each other. We're like, They're not 2-5.
No, they're not.
They're not.
They're not. Yeah, they're not a 2-5 team.
Yeah, Messiah is.
Yeah, they're a team that in the playoffs is going to be like real interesting to see.
No one wants to see that.
Nobody does. Yeah.
Right. Same with Areeha. I think Areeha. You know, that's the team that people are kind of looking at like, you know, they're good. Their record's good, but we can beat them. I think that's a mistake. Man.
Oh yeah.
For Sign and Slam, they play so hard, man. He works to get open. You know, they've got it figured out.
Yazan is a good rebounder.
Yazan, they know what they got. Yeah, I love Yazan's game. Yeah, they know who they are, and they're gonna just keep trying to do that, perfect that every game. That's a dangerous team.
Yeah. All right, and then final question: what edge do you think that your team has over the entire league, Yazur included?
Omer Sinjar.
I would say Mahrooz, because that's the thing. Mahrooz and Sinjar have been playing for I think over a year now, right? And they
playing together. You're saying?
We played a couple seasons together.
Oh, okay,
and they have this weird chemistry at this point. I would say Sinjar, but I would also, besides Mahrooz, we're not going to count him right now. I would say Sabra.
Okay.
He is. I think in the preseason matchup, someone was saying that he's the best 3-point shooter in North Jersey.
I agree.
And yeah, you can look at last sideline 6 for 20, right? He didn't have a great game, but that boy, don't let him get hot, right? Because he will score. Like, he will shoot from anywhere on the court, and he will make it from anywhere.
Yeah, I think you guys have a really balanced team as well.
I think
that's like, when you look at Yazur, you look at Nazareth, and you look at you guys are probably the most balanced teams, and that's why you guys are so deadly, you know?
I was just going to kind of get to some of the other guys, too, because, like, you know, we're not top-heavy. Even though, our top guys are good, we're not top-heavy because we rely on our other guys to contribute game in and game out. So, like, you know, Huzaifa, who's not even here right now. When Huzaifa gets into the mix, man, he's just another guy that gives us a punch.
Huzaifa's great, man.
Right. So, man, he gives us like a real punch. Waleed, Nawaz. I mean, all these guys are so good. And then to me, the heart of our team, and to me, the most important guy is Soccer. You know, I mean, he's a consistent workhorse for us. He does the dirty work. He gets the rebounds.
Abdurrahman, right?
He does not care about.
Dude, he's a beast. He's actually a beast. He gets like 12 rebounds a game.
Right,
it's like crazy.
And he doesn't ask for the ball, even though he can do more. I think offensively,
he tackles
he's
people
okay with
it.
He plays like a soccer player. He's always running.
I'll say more football.
Right? Every winning team needs a guy like that. Like, puts his hard hat on.
He's so emotional. Like, I think there was one game we played against Sabra where he fouled out, immediately takes off his jersey and starts like swinging in the air. As like we're trying to score and he's swinging it, and like I'm like, all right, like he's one of one, honestly. Like he is I would say he's the heart of the team, and I'm glad as a free agent pickup we got him.
Great guy too. I like him.
Phenomenal.
Sure, man. We couldn't ask for a better guy, man.
All right, let's get straight into the games. Thank you guys for that. That was awesome.
Sure.
All right, so week 7, game 1, Sabra versus Yazur. This game was interesting. I think I was actually stat keeping on the Nazareth Shatila game, which was also a good game. But I watched some of it back, and it looked like to me, it looked like at the beginning it was very close. So like we'll see the first half here, points of 17-22, 5-point game at the beginning, and then as you guys were mentioning before, Yazur kind of flips that switch second half, right? They score 34 to Sabra's 23. I know they were missing some guys. Usually this team does not have just 5 people. Right. So, you know, usually they're at full strength. They usually have like 8, you know, every week. But this week it looks like they're shorthanded a little bit. Got the ball moving around a little bit more. You got, you know, more shots for everybody, which was nice. I think it helps them. But I think towards the end, from what I was hearing, it looked like, you know, some players just fumbled the ball at the end. And, you know, that's when they kind of like took over. They do that press. They get a lot of turnovers off of you. So you'll see right here, 17-5 in the turnover game.
Wow.
It's like pretty crazy.
Turnovers, man. That's tough.
We kind of have that similar problem. But Sabra like destroyed them in rebounding, man. Actually, it looks
they're
like
missing one player.
Yeah, I think they just.
They may not have had
stat sheet isn't like, you know, fully accurate here, as we have like 4 players on Yazur rather than the 5 obviously or more that they had on their team. But yeah, turnovers looks like the name of the game here.
Yeah, that's kind of what stuck out to me as well. As soon as I saw the stat sheet, 17 turnovers, man. And the thing about Yazur, they capitalize. It's not there's no you know, empty possessions. They're getting good shots consistently. So you're giving them 17 extra chances on top of the flow of the game as it is. You know, they're tough to beat.
The thing is, when they smell like, even when they play against us, when they smell like blood, right?
They jump on.
They jump. I think after you went down that game, it was a 6-point game too. They immediately came out and
they're good, man. Credit to them. I've watched a few of their games, and that's kind of the trend that I've noticed. Like early on, they're a little bit, you know, not slower to start, but you know, they're easing into it. But there's a point in which they turn a flip on and they turn a switch on, and you know, I mean, that press is something serious, man.
Yeah. No one can keep up with it.
It takes a team to get through it. You can't dribble through it, man.
Yeah, it takes a team. I think that's the key point here, right? It's like you have to have good ball handlers, and then also you have to have because the way they'll do it is they'll press you and the first pass out,
right? Exactly.
And then the next person that you would typically get to that defender is waiting for you to make that pass, and then they just go in for that steal every time. It's exactly like that every time, and then so you need to have maybe a screen off ball to get one of those guys out, or something else just to get it moving.
I think the first thing you need is composure. I think that's what they're really good at. They're good at rattling you. They're good at it's easy for us to zoom out and hindsight and look at it like, all right, maybe we just put a guy in the middle and we can beat it. But when the game is going and that pressure is on, it takes a couple of guys to stay composed and break through it. Because one guy gets frantic, and now as a team you look like you can't handle the press, and that gives them the confidence to turn it up even more and more and more. So
100%. That's a great shout out.
For sure.
I think that Sabra, the turnovers that Yazur had, it seems like didn't lead to any more shots. Like they had 47 shots for Sabra, 46 to Yazur.
Right.
But again, I think that's also because we're missing one of those guys here. If you add up their points, it's what? So that's 46, 47, 48. Yeah, so they're missing here 8 points from somebody else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's got to be. There's got to be. I think Yazur definitely had more opportunities because of those turnovers that we just don't see.
Yeah.
Because of the stat.
You also got to say Muntaka 8 assists.
Yeah.
That's he's like you were mentioning before. He's probably the best floor general in the league right now. Like the way he.
Right. I didn't say that. The power ranking said that, and I promise you, it's not me. Please, guys, I want you to believe it's not me.
That's funny.
So the power rankings were saying he's the best floor general, and the way he reads defenses as he's walking up, he knows the right pass to make. Every single time.
I think he sees the whole game. He sees not only the balancing of the floor, but he sees when guys might need an extra touch. That's another level of just understanding the game.
That's the kind of player you're like too. I feel like you are a very good floor general. You read the game really well. You respond in correspondence with that too. What I mean. I definitely noticed that about.
And that's why I appreciate a guy that thinks like that. I love watching him play for that same reason, man. He just kind of sees the entire game. So. Yeah.
And he's very vocal too. You'll see him on the court. He'll say it. You know what I mean? Just as it is. And the team respects him and listens. And look how it is. They haven't lost a game yet. They've only lost the forfeit.
Yeah. Just the forfeit game, right?
Yeah.
No, they're very good, man. Yazur's tough to beat. Sabra, on the other hand, I thought they were a good team on paper.
Yeah.
And even when we played them, I thought they were a good team.
Yeah.
Defensively, they've got bodies. They can guard. They can defend. There's not a lot of mismatches with them. I just think sometimes their offense is a little random.
Yeah.
That's really my only takeaway from them because individually those guys are all very good basketball players.
Yes, I agree.
No. Muhammad is his fadeaway, his mid-range fadeaway is
tough,
disgusting.
Yeah. Oh my God!
Right?
He gets high up, you can't get to it.
Yeah,
and,
he's
very
a big boy. And then they're also missing Ahmad too, the 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
And you can tell only three three-pointers made too.
Yeah. But it definitely helps that they only took 11. You know what I mean? I think when Ahmed's on the court, it makes it 30 out of instead of 11.
It definitely does, but you're also making a little bit more.
Yeah, it's true.
I feel like they have more possessions when Ahmed's on the court too.
Okay.
As much as he is a kind of a spot up, he does when he gets it. I've seen he gets it. He kind of dribbles a little bit, and if it's not there, he dishes it out. Right. Yeah. So it does slow the game down a little bit for them. I feel like. This game specifically when I was watching it, they were just trying their best to score as much as they could, immediately.
Did you guys see the beginning of this game? Because Montez came out with three threes in a row.
Disgusting.
It was just it came up 3, and then the next play came up again 3, and then the third one he gets a pick, gets off the side 3, and I was like, dude, this guy is insane. Finished 7 for 14 from the 3-point line.
And he has 14 threes on the season now. He hit half what he's had on the year.
25 points tonight, which was pretty crazy, and then you had 21 from Salihun. It's just the knockout punch right there. He had 4 steals as a team. Multiple guys here again, multiple steals. They look crazy. And then you also have 16 from Matic on the other side. Again, Matic, I love that he never takes a dumb shot. That's my biggest thing for Matic. I love having him on the team because again, he's shooting 50%, 16 points, 7 rebounds. You can't blame this on him. He's a great defender.
Yeah.
And then on the other side. Other players as well. 10 points this is a notable stat line by Rayan, but he had 8 turnovers.
Yeah, it's not
unacceptable,
right?
I think we were talking about this before. Is that Sabra doesn't have Rayan like you were saying, he has to fill the role of a point guard because there's nobody else that kind of does it.
Like that, yeah.
But he's more of a scorer. He's more of a wing player. Too. Yeah. So I think, unfortunately, it's like you kind of have to live with him creating shots, and he's been doing, definitely a good job. Like the team is 4-3, like definitely a winning record, and this is a tough team again in Yazur that they kind of had. But
I said the same thing after we played them. I said that's a good team, and they can defend every position. That's the main thing that sticks out to me about them. Yeah. But like it's for Ryan and even Omar, I feel like Obotoya, I feel like they can be more involved, but strategically, right? Like know what kind of shots we want here, set a few off balls, maybe some handoffs, just. Instead of, every team doesn't have to have a point guard facilitate the offense. If the ball moves the right way, your team can do that as a whole. And I think that's a little bit of just what they need because individually, like I said, Ryan, Omar, I just feel like these guys can do a little bit more. And, maybe it's just the positioning and where they're catching it. And, just
I think they'll bounce back, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure.
100%.
They're a good team.
They are a good team. I think they have the makeup and also just the way that they carry themselves.
Right.
They play really well together. Ball moves, so... All right, that's all I got to say about these teams. Anything else, you guys?
No, that's it.
No?
Shout out to Yazur.
Yeah, straight up.
Undefeated, kind of.
Okay, so we'll go into game 2. So we got Nazareth versus Shatila. Mm-hmm. So this game was interesting, too. I kept this game. I kind of watched it. It devolved pretty quickly in the second half. It was really the second half. Like, Nazareth was ahead the whole time, I would say. But Shatila was within striking distance for, like, at least... the first, I would say, like half, and then a little bit more in the second half as well. But the second half is really, they took off. It was, second half, the scoring was 39-19. So they almost scored all of Shatila's points in the second half alone. You know what I mean? It was pretty insane.
Right. That's crazy.
You had a lot of good games. So they were missing Shafiq, which is interesting to see. Again, like these teams are both really good. Yeah. Shatila they lost a 5-on-4 against us because they were shorthanded. Yeah. And then they also lost... they lost against Yazur. Those are the only 2 losses they had prior to coming in today. So they were 4-2 against a 5-1 team, right? But after this week, they got the business handed to them. You know what I mean? Without Shafiq, which is very interesting, right? So definitely, you got Nazareth as a leg up over Shatila, and you kind of see like tiers now forming, right? And like how good each team, like the levels of these teams here. But whereas before it was like a 5-way tie for first place. You remember? So now you're starting to see like now there's like certain teams that are like really up there and certain teams that are like still really good, like upper level, but not the number 1 top dog team, right? I would say. But they were shorthanded, I would say. Like even Karim who played and Sami Shaban who played were got hurt. Yeah, so they're kind of. Ahmad had a horrible game. They really did a good job defending him. I think they actually put Elias on him.
Dude,
he's such a good defender.
I wish you. Like, I was on that sideline.
Yeah, I was watching.
I was on that sideline when Elias started just yelling at him, "You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere." And then they like got into like a little scrap over the ball. Not a scrap, but whatever. When the ref called for a foul. And I felt it. I was like, "Yo, this is
the energy, right?
The energy's there." Elias is. I mean, they're missing Shafiq, but. Like I think you mentioned a couple of times, like Elias is probably like when he held down Musa, right?
Yeah,
like
that's when you first got on my radar. I was like, wow, that was impressive.
He defended me real well too against.
So like he's good. Amar, like he's a great player.
Yeah.
Amar, like I've only heard great things about him, but to see him own like over 5, 1 for 14, only 3 points. Elias is doing his job.
Because, Elias, like, he makes it his mission. He's like, I'm going to defend the best player, and I'm going to make sure that he has a bad game. And that's, like, it takes a dog, you know what I mean? Like, you really need to, like, be, like, it's like, this is my job, I'm going to do it. And he does it successfully, as well as contribute on the other side, right?
I was just going to say that,
yeah. He shot 4 for 15, which isn't the best, but 6 steals. 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 9 points. He got everybody involved. You know what I mean? Like he's doing great.
You feel Elias's presence out there, man. He finds ways to impact the game.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite players in the league too, man. He just kind of does what he has to do to win. He finds a role and really just excels at it. And those kind of guys help you win games. They have other sleeper guys too. Amir Hassan, I think, is so underrated, man. That's the kind of guy that takes you over the top if you're a good team. And I think that's what he does for them.
The thing is, he locks in when he needs to lock in.
Yeah.
He doesn't usually.
You're talking Elias?
Amir Hassan.
Okay.
You're going to say something about?
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Elias, you said he's new to playing basketball?
not new, but like
he started late in his career. In his life.
Or I mean, I don't know how old he is, but I guess
he's a little younger. Yeah,
he's a little younger, right? But I've known Ilyas and this whole team essentially for like 10 or so years, right?
No, yeah.
And watching Ilyas like develop. From, like playing in 2019, his first year in NBA 2019, 2018, and he was off the bench, played maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes a game with Shafiq and them. And I would always tell my friends like, "Yo, he is underrated. He could be." Really good.
And now seeing him develop into that.
Yeah, seeing him develop. Also, he's doing actually like he was telling me, he's like, I coach AAU now.
Yeah, he does.
So he's like, he's not only coaching AAU, he's also training with his team. Right? To whip out different moves.
That's pretty cool.
Defense probably. So he's like learning the technicals, right, of basketball, and I think that's why he's getting to like that level.
Pretty awesome.
My first season in MB was actually I played with Ilyas, and even from then, and I liked him then. He was good then. He contributed, did a good job, and even from then, man, he's grown like the last 2 seasons. So I think
he was there. He was basically running the offense, Game like play in, play out in this game. Like he's kind of like saying like I can handle this role. Shafiq's not here, no problem. I got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he definitely can.
Yeah, you better watch out.
But you had excellent performances from Omar Mana as well. 10 for 13, 20 and 20. Like he had 21 points, 20 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. You couldn't stop him. Amir Hassan also 8 for 11, 19 points, 9 rebounds. Like you had so many good performances. Everyone's contributing. Everyone had at least had points. You know what I mean? Like that's good. 11 points from Muhammad Al-Adil again, another young guy who's developing. Like
Ahmed Saleh, good game.
I do like.
Where are they finding these people?
I do like. I think Muhammad Al-Lady was their free agent ad. Right?
Oh, okay.
And I know they're like you slowly seen his game. Like they don't know him, right? But you've slowly seen his game develop over the last like since week 1 to week now. Like he wasn't passing the ball as much in the first week because I guess he was afraid he wouldn't get it, right? Because he doesn't know them, right? He
needs to prove himself.
Yeah, and then throughout this whole time, like last week, when I was watching the game tape, he was passing and he was getting open, going up for rebounds now. Like he's changing his game entirely. He's getting more comfortable in his team, and he's a dangerous player too, right? Yeah. And especially if he gets comfortable now, like,
dude, he's gonna be. Give him 2-3 years, he's gonna be one of the best players in the league. I tell you that right now. You could see him already. He's young. He has a really nice bag. Like he can finish. He has a nice handle. He could shoot. It's just a little bit of development, and he's gonna be deadly. Actually, you know what I mean? It's gonna be very interesting to see.
But Nazareth, I think just outplayed them across the board, man. They shot better from the 3, from the field, much better from the 3. Out rebounded, got 12 steals. I mean, they played a really good game.
Oh yeah, I have to say, like he's not on the stat sheet, but Sean from Shatila, he is cold,
bro. I'm telling you guys, he's still not on the stat sheet. He should be because actually I tracked his stats. It should be on there. It's weird. Because I remember we made sure that his name was on the thing. It's weird that it's not showing up. But yeah, dude, his shot is insane. His 3-pointer is ridiculous.
I think that's the only person they're trying to cover on the perimeter too.
Bro, he gets a little bit of space,
and he'll get it.
And there's a good chance it's going in. It's insane. But okay,
other than that, like no, like. Besides Mo Amin, like that whole team just got outplayed. Yeah, honestly.
Muhammad Amin, 12 points, 7 rebounds. He was their leading scorer here.
They need to get him the ball more. Like I play a lot with Mo Amin, and he's a great center. He just needs to get going a little bit. Yeah. He works well positive affirmation, so always tell him he's doing a good job, and he'll always do well.
Yeah, it's fine.
But that's the thing. Like they're like if they get him more involved, more especially on rebounds and points. Like he misses a layup here and there, but once he gets going, like he's almost unstoppable. Yeah, right in the paint specifically.
Fair enough. Okay, anything else you guys want to add?
No, I think it's good for that game.
Cool. All right, Game 3, Baysan versus Bir Seb'a. I think I also stat kept for this game. I mean, honestly, this came down to Bir Seb'a kind of falling apart in the second half. Yeah. But you'll see, second half, like they were winning by 6 first half.
14.
Second half, 14 points. They dropped it. They laid an egg there. You know what I mean?
That's tough,
it's and Baysan didn't play necessarily much better offensively. Like they scored about the same. They actually shot really badly. They shot 28% as a whole. You know what I mean? Like I think obviously Bir Seb'a also did, but from the very beginning, I remember they really got it going. They hit a couple. It was like 9-3 at the very beginning of the game, and they just kept their foot on the gas. I think they also had a jersey penalty, Baysan, but to be honest, this came down to it. Just seemed like Bir Seb'a kind of just fell apart in the second half. Enes didn't really play super well, especially in the second half.
He got defended well too.
Yeah, they defended him well, man. Enes will figure it out, but this was definitely a tough game.
This was his lowest scoring game of the year.
For their whole offense, it just kind of looked like they had a tough time. I think Salman played a really, really good game. He was, you can notice that he was a force out there, but
18. He's like a veteran at this point. Like he's been at NBA for like 9 years.
Yeah.
And like this is probably his best year of rebounding. Like I've like checked, and like I think he's averaging 15 rebounds a game at this point. So he's doing work, right?
Yeah. But say that again.
He's definitely one of the most underrated. I think he's one of the best bigs in the league, man.
Yeah, he's 100%. 100%.
Central, I just think he's he's just the guy
he's like consistently getting like 20 rebound games. Like what the heck is going on, man?
The guy's a force, bro. He works.
This season he's averaging. Let's see, how many rebounds? 15 rebounds a game.
Exactly.
Like it is insane,
also
dude.
He is the loudest, the loudest person in the gym too. Like if there's a pick left, you hear him screaming.
And guys don't.
That's not even his guy.
He's a high IQ big.
Yeah.
Man. You don't. A lot of bigs, you get something out of him, but you don't expect he's really he's like kind of the safety for your defense.
Okay.
He tells you what's going on back there. It's not just screens. He's calling out actions. He does a lot for a team. I just think that with a big like that, you need the rest of the team to really buy in defensively, and I think they do that sometimes. But there's spurts where you can definitely tell that the offense not working bleeds into how they play defensively.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, shout out to Samantha. Looking at this.
How was that?
Yeah, I think something fell back.
Yeah, freaking cat, man.
Azula.
It was the other one.
Zuko.
Yeah. All right. Anyway. Okay, so. For Bir Seb'a, I think that honestly, I'm happy they got more guys involved when MS wasn't doing well. Like Abdullah Shabazz finally got more than 3 shots in the game, so he got 4 for 9, which is good. Generally you can see the shots going around. The thing is though, is that you need a number 2 or a number 3 that really somebody's getting going. Feed it to that guy. Enes isn't shooting ball well. All right, so man is 5 for 8. Let's get him the ball. You know what I mean? Let's get it inside. Let's play the big man game for a while. Yeah. As soon as the pressure gets off of Enes now, they're starting to worry about closing up the and patching in it inside. Enes is now he's going to get it going again. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what opens the doors for other people. I think. Yeah. One more thing is that we were talking before. I think last week we were saying how Zayed should play off the ball, and I think they talked about it. I was talking to Enes yesterday. They talked about it. And I think Zayed now accepts that role, and he wants to try to get the team to create for him a little bit more. Yeah. And so basically, he can now come off the catch, come off of a pick, get the ball, spot up shot. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Zayed is, again, he won the 3-point contest last year, and it wasn't even close. Oh, wow. He hit, it was insane, actually. He hit, I think we were doing the same point total thing that the NBA does, and he had 26 points. It was that's NBA level points. It was insane. It was hot, man. He was killing it, actually. So you look to him to, hopefully come back and do better. I mean, 2 for 7 isn't crazy. He didn't take that many shots. 2 for 3 from the 3-point line. You know what I mean? So it's at the end of the day, he didn't take a ridiculous amount of shots. Yeah. I just think, again, his team needs to also come around him and kind of help him develop that and make Dinesh more into I'm going to be a pass-first point guard. I'm going to just try to get everybody involved. I played with him for the whole week. I know he's like that. That's the kind of way that he plays. He played for his high school. Yeah. Great point guard. So I think just kind of how we were saying before, changing levels for Bir Seb'a. Enes isn't getting it going. Okay, we got a big we can exploit and use him. We can get Zayed. We can get other people involved here to get just a couple more points on the board, rely on your teammates a little bit more. Then the door opens for Enes once again. Now he's back to being lethal,
Agreed. And I again, just to bring it back to this, Bir Seb'a out-rebounded Baysan. And a lot of that was Salman doing a lot of that work for them. And, even just if you're doing one thing well, sometimes that's enough to win you a game. 100%. You just kind of take care of the other thing, right? So it's it's a lot
I think they definitely need to this team needs to play a little bit more technical in the fact that if you're looking Bir Seb'a and they're playing on the screen now, right? Sometimes Baysan put in a big that could not guard Salman, right? He's probably the best, not the best center, but one of top 5 easily
I think
in the league, right? And giving the ball back the person down, he can make a layup, right? They're not using their mismatches correctly, and I think that's what's kind of hurting them. They just kind of, I'm not saying that they're playing selfishly, but they're not playing wholly as a team yet.
Yeah. What about the fouls? Looks like 15 fouls on the other side.
I was just looking at that too, man. That's a lot of fouls. You're letting guys, usually that's because you're letting guys get past.
Yeah. And honestly, if you look at the free throw numbers there, they had 13 attempts at free throws. They made 7 of them. That's 5 points that wins you the game. You know what I mean? That really, obviously, you're not going to go with 0 fouls. Right. But it's in a 4-point game, a close game like that, the fouls really make a big difference. They start adding up with those free throws.
No, absolutely.
I also think Baysan is a very fast team.
Yeah, they run a lot. They like to run.
Hamza Shah, Ish, and Ehsan there, and Musa too, right? Like they will get past you, they're just like floating, right? Like easily. So yeah, like the fouls come into it. Right?
They're all extremely talented in Baysan. The only thing I would say about Baysan is sometimes when you look at them on the court, they look like they're all playing on their own.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're all so individually talented, and sometimes it just ends up being like, okay, I'm going to play ISO, and it works for them. They sometimes will just get that bucket.
Right.
But a lot of the times, it just looks like everyone's trying to just create their own shot, and that's, I think that is what's keeping them from the next level, you know, where they're now in that upper echelon. Like, we're a championship team. It's just about getting each other going instead of getting it for yourself.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've watched Baysan a couple of games this season as well, and I'm honestly impressed by them. Like, you know, record aside, just eye test, they're such a good team, man. I mean, you know, Big Moose, we all know what Big Moose does, man. He's, you know, one of the best players in the league. But I think he's really, really underrated. He's had some big games, and people have seen him pop off, but he's a real difference maker.
Yeah.
I think he's good at everything. You know, I know the shooting stands out, but I think he's kind of good at everything.
How did you shoot this game?
He shot two for 6 from the three. Only took 7 shots. So
that's interesting.
I also like. There's a new player, right? Kareem. I've never seen him. Like I don't.
3 for 12 game,
right?
Yeah. I didn't.
So I think he like spaces the floor for all of them.
Yeah. Now Kareem's an NBA. Yeah, he's played. A few seasons. He's helped teams win.
I think like Ishaq and Ehsan were the ones, and even like Muhammad Popol, right? They're the ones who are bringing the ball up mostly. So it looks like Kareem is the main ball handler.
Yeah, they were missing Muhammad Popol this game.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Ishaq is a great point guard, man. Nobody can really stay in front of that guy.
Oh yeah, he's so shifty, it's so smooth. Yeah,
his game is beautiful.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. It actually is really fun to watch. I totally agree.
Yeah, he's one of those people that's just floating, right?
Yeah.
Like around the court.
And it's just like it seems effortless to him. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, counter, smooth, and it's just like, you know, it's just working. So.
Now Kareem is an underrated addition, though, man. Kareem is really good. He can help a team win for sure, and he's really, really smart. That's what I like about his game.
Yeah. So this loss puts Bir Seb'a down to 1-6. I don't feel like they are a 1-6 team.
That's crazy.
I think that it really. I think I look to them towards the end of the season, which we're now entering. You know, the last couple weeks here. I think they pull out 1 or 2 wins here, depending on how their schedule looks. But I do think they'll win at least 1 or 2 more.
I think Anas is definitely going to bounce back too. You know, he's a really good player. I think he's definitely going to bounce back that game.
Yeah, I agree. I think Anas comes out.
I don't know if it was the defense, but he definitely had an off day. I mean, that happens to everyone, right? Everyone has an off day. So it's normal.
Okay, sounds good. Let's move on to the next one. We got Areeha versus Haifa. And this one was a lot closer.
I love it. A
lot closer than everybody assumed, right? Like, tell me about. I know I watched some of it. Yeah. But tell me, what you guys saw. I know you're saying you're watching.
So I actually was talking to, I think, Desar and Elton before the game.
I was talking to them a little bit before too.
And they were like, and that's the thing, like, they're great players, I think. And like they're like, oh, what should we do?
Yeah.
Like we need to ask our perspective.
Yeah.
What do we need to do more? And I think, like you guys mentioned it, they're very quick on the let's just shoot a 3, right? And get back, right? I was just like, yo, take your time. Just pass the ball around, and they did that this game. I think that's like the difference. That's the difference. That
Fair enough,
have, right? Desar on like a sprained ankle, 17 points, and Usama was like one of the greatest, like not greatest, but he's one of the best shooters right now.
Bro, honestly, they shot much better this game. They shot almost 40%. You know, like that's really good. And you look at their stat lines, and it's like, you know, 1 for 15, 2 for 15, something like that. You know what I mean? You'll see like bad shots, but like 6 for 10 from Desar, 8 for 19 from Osama. Allen didn't shoot the greatest, but you also have Hassan for 3 and 5. Hamid Musa 1 for 2. Like everyone's shooting relatively efficiently there. You know what I mean?
Sure.
19 points from Osama, which is really good. 17 points from Desar. He had 7 rebounds, 5 steals. 5 assists, a steal, and a block. He had a great stat line this game.
Great game.
No, Haifa is definitely better than that record, man. When we played them, they played us well, man. They put the pressure on us. They hit some threes.
That was one of the games like I was afraid we were going to lose to because I knew for a fact. I think they came right out of the game, and I think Yousaf was it. I think Yousaf El-Shinawi.
Yeah.
Their center shot a 3 right in our face.
Really?
And we're like, oh.
Set the tone.
I get you.
They're good. I think, you know, they hit twice as many threes on a little bit more attempts, but still, they hit twice as many threes.
Yeah.
I think their 3-point capabilities just kind of keep them into a lot of games.
No, 100%.
It does, yeah.
When you can shoot that well, at least this is how I think of it, you need a drive and kick guy to get everybody involved and like have that intention of getting guys open looks. Because they can all shoot the shoot the pill, man. But
and they did a great job defensively. They kept Farhan to 3 for 14, Islam to 3 for 11.
Right.
Little got it going, 6 for 12. He had 19 points, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, and you kind of expect that from him at this point in time. Like he's their best player. But you look at the other half now. You see Big O's shooting 3 for 6, 7 points, which is great. 4 for 8 from Yazan, probably off of putbacks. That's a great game for him. 8 points, 5 rebounds. What do you guys think puts them over the edge? For me, just looking up the stat sheet, it seems like it was the rebounding from Areeha that gave them more opportunities. They got 10 more shots, and there was 10 more rebounds.
Got to the line a little bit more, and they shot it pretty well, 9 for 13 from the line. But they were definitely being more aggressive.
Foul number, you're right.
Areeha, man, they play with effort, man. I think
the whole time it's constant pressure.
Everyone focuses on Lil O, and rightfully so. One of the best players in the league for sure, hands down. But I think Farhan, man, and Islam, they just make it so tough for you to get momentum. They're so good at offensive rebounding. They're good at tip steal here. They just kill a lot of your momentum. They just do a little bit of everything, and they're fearless. So, I think that gives them like an identity, like I was saying earlier. They know what they want to do going into games. And some games they execute, some games they don't. But if they're hitting, teams like that are tough to beat, man. They know who they are. They know what they want to get into.
Like that's the thing, they're a family, right? And they have chemistry. Like I've said this numerous times, like their chemistry is unmatched.
That's their biggest strength in my opinion.
Right? And not only that, but like Lil O hasn't been having the best games over the last stretch, right? But that's because people are focusing on him. Mm-hmm. Like over the last couple of weeks, Farhan has been cooking.
Yeah, and they're still 6-1. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing,
crazy.
You cover Farhan, you cover Islam, you leave Lil O's gonna take it. You cover Lil O, then Farhan's gonna take it. Then Yazan's gonna take it. Right? Like it's always gonna be someone stepping up. Right? Yeah. If you I think this is our issue.
Next man up is their team
like,
model.
Where it's like, okay, how are we gonna cover these guys without the other one coming up?
Yeah.
Right?
They don't like their effort doesn't sway. They play hard the whole game. Shots are going in or not going in. They're playing hard. They're getting good open looks consistently. So
no, I totally agree.
And they're just having fun at the end of the day. It's their family, right? Like they're just chilling.
That's such a cool thing. It's definitely family goals. Make a basketball team and play.
So cool.
A little family outing on a Sunday morning. Why not, right?
But
6-1, man, not doing bad.
Yeah, no, not at all.
They're not even bad. They're not even like a bad family. They're like a good family. Come on.
But for Haifa, it's a tough loss. I think you guys, you're making the right adjustments. I think it's just going to take a little bit more time. You guys look to make the win against Bir Seb'a next week. Could be your first one. I think it's going to be an interesting game to watch.
I think Saman might have a game but we'll get to it. Because they don't have like a big Haifa.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, Dasar kind of plays that role, and I think he could do a good job. We'll talk about that in predictions.
Yeah.
No, but they're definitely better than that record. So.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, those guys are tough.
All right, next game. Ready to talk about this one?
We can skip this one. I don't think it matters.
I hope so. No. Akka versus Ajjur, and they're missing people on the stat sheet here. So, okay, what's his name? They're missing, I know his name, number 4. He is, what's his name? Omar Osmani was guarding him. It's, his name is, damn, why am I blanking right now? I'm going to just hit up their roster. Maybe I'll pull it up. I don't know if they made the switch. No, they didn't. It's gonna be on the other side. Maybe on the Yazur's roster.
I feel like for this game, you guys gotta blame Rian for this one.
Rian?
Yeah, remember what he said in the chat?
Us
looking at Ajjur, and it was like Shannon Sharp.
yeah. Well, honestly, that was like a joke from like the first year of Central, because basically like Chandi, which is on Ajjur, they would basically like after every game they would just like take a picture of food and be like, "This is Yazur," or whatever team that they just beat, or it was just funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so okay, overall, our team shot well, 46%. You know what I mean? So we're shooting well. I think, honestly, our problem was turnovers. Like, they didn't count the turnovers correctly, because I rewatched the game. Yousaf had more than 5 turnovers, or 5 at least. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I counted them. Right? I don't mean, he's my brother, and he has a lot of responsibility on this team. Like, because he's bringing up the ball, he's running that point guard role. He did a great job. He was one of our leading scorers. I think he was our leading scorer. 12 points. No, second leading scorer. 12 points, 5 for 11 shooting. He did great. And honestly, he hustles back on defense. He's covering the best player. He's covering Alisson. So he was doing a really good job. But they definitely, I think our problem was turnovers, though, because, there was that.
Looks, for sure.
Second thing I noticed is that I feel like a lot of times some of our players are like still stuck in the ISO kind of thing, and I'm a little to blame with that as well. I feel like I move the ball around a lot, but like sometimes when I and in that, like, I'm on the wing, and my role is to be a scorer. So a lot of times I'll get downhill and then kind of I feel like a tunnel vision, like, all right, I'm going to score now. I didn't shoot super bad. I didn't have I think I had what? I didn't have any turnovers. I shot 4 for 9.
Yeah.
9 points, 5 rebounds. So I played okay. But I think our biggest thing is just the same. I feel like a broken record. I keep saying ball's not swinging. Yousaf did a good job. He's moving it. The problem is because at the beginning to really get into our sets, there's a little bit of over dribbling, and so the ball isn't. Like, people just stop moving. Yeah. They just stand and watch. Yeah. And it kind of stifles the movement of the ball.
Ball watch.
I think that comes down to trust, man. I think you got to know, like, if I get rid of it, and I do my work, it'll come back to me if I'm in the right spot. Like, right. There's a little bit of that. Yeah. Man. I think you guys, like I said, individually, you guys are definitely good basketball players, man. You guys understand the game. You're sound, you're smart. It's just like, like Areeha, right? They know what they want to do going into games. Yeah. We want this many threes. We want, Farhan and Islam to really get into their Islam and sorry, I'm blanking.
No, you're good. Omar? Or you're saying Farhan and Islam?
Yeah. So, they know what they want to do. Right? They're coming into games. They know what shots they want. They know who's going to rebound. And that's where when I watch you guys, it doesn't look the same every game. It looks like one guy wants to take control of this game. One guy wants to take control of this game. If you all just kind of trust each other a little more, know that if the ball's moving, whoever's hot, that's what we want to get to.
Yeah.
Right? Game in, game out, you guys will figure it out.
Yeah. So I feel like a lot of times we like to matchup hunt from our guards. Like a lot of times, like we'll try to somebody gets a pick and roll and they'll go and specifically you're trying to get that one guy, and a lot of times they're expecting that pass, or we're trying to feed it to specific people when realistically, if we all trust each other, if the ball comes to me, I can move it around to whoever, that person anyway, you know what I mean, that wants to get the ball anyway. If you look at all the numbers on the stats, same on the rebounds, like it wasn't that crazy. The blocks, turnovers, we fouled a lot more for sure. That was a pretty big thing. They were playing really physical. They were getting down low. Al-Hassan had a great game. 17 points, 6 for 10, 6 rebounds. Well. Yeah, like he was their leading scorer for sure. For sure. Yousaf, I thought he did a good job defending him. I think sometimes Yousaf will play really aggressive on defense, and that's a benefit. But sometimes it's also we want Al-Hassan to shoot more, low key. You know what I mean? We don't want him coming downhill. We'd rather him shoot. And so a lot of times when you're pressing up on him, it forces him to drive, which is exactly what we don't want. Yeah. Which again, this is the brand of defense that Yousaf plays. He gets people uncomfortable. He plays really tight on them. He gets tips. He gets steals. He gets going on the other end. That was honestly probably my fault. You know what I mean? I put him on Al-Hassan. He was I don't think it's the right matchup for me. And I just felt I was no, I think you're good. And I trust him, and I think I would do it again. For sure. But I think because of what he was saying, the feedback he was giving me, maybe we should have thought it out differently and switched it out.
Talked it through. Yeah, I think you guys need to give Bilal the ball more, man. He
played well.
He had a good game, man.
Yeah. So Yousaf was really focusing on trying to get it to Bilal a lot, and that's why when he did get the ball, he played really well. Yeah. The problem I think is that they just started playing deny the ball on Bilal Mateen. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it led to turnovers, right? And I agree with you. I think Bilal Mateen, when he gets the ball, he's deadly, right? The problem is I think the rest of the team, we should be on the same page. Okay, move it around to me. Now I can get it to Bilal or something like that, because now they're scrambling to try to cover what threats that I pose. You know what I mean? Right.
I also do think once Ahmad comes back, you guys are going to be... Is he coming back?
So he played last game, and we're trying to get him to play for every game so that he can... For the playoffs, he played, and he got a couple boards. However, he said he felt like it was weak still. Yeah. So we understand, we're trying to, first priority is just safety, you know what I mean? So he's going to probably check in for a minute or two next game just to check in.
Just foul someone.
But we want to make sure that he's, strengthening, safe, not getting hurt.
Oh, yeah, but if he's healthy for playoffs, which is less than a month
makes it a difference, makes a big difference.
You guys will be in a lot. You guys would be probably one of those teams that are, in the, trying to, versus the top seed, who might cause an upset. But
I honestly think so, man. I think you guys, walking away from the game against you guys, I felt like you guys were a better team than the record said. And, I think matchups have a lot to do with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Some games, some teams, you're going to match up really, really well. And I think that'll energize you guys enough to do some of the little stuff. And then sometimes, you got to find a way to get the team focused and, into the right shots in the right spots.
I think the biggest problem that we have, though, is that trust thing you were talking about. Because, there are certain players on our team that they don't even know what their role is because they never get the ball. You know what I mean? Omar Osmani is one of our best players.
Yeah,
he didn't. He got the ball a couple times this
good,
game.
bro.
He only got the ball a couple times this last game, and that's it's unacceptable. We
yeah.
cannot have him only get the ball a couple times. You know what I mean? Like he shot 3. Actually, I guess he took more shots than I thought. 3 for 9. But
he's a good player.
Yeah,
he's very good. He had a good game against us.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. We're kind of struggling to close him up.
Yeah, he's tough.
Yeah, Areeha got hurt in this game too. Yeah, it's my trademark quality there. My shot, high arc.
Annoyed me because I think I was covering you when you hit a 3 in my face. I'm like, you can't even you just right up in the air, right up in the air. You can't do nothing about it. But no, it was you got a good game against us, but I feel like you guys are gonna probably bounce back.
I think so too, man, for sure.
Last thing I'll say about this game is that partially for me too is that I am playing with the mindset that I'm like fully healthy and I feel comfortable on the court. Yeah. The problem is my body still won't be 100% until we're at like the year mark. You know what I mean? So like I'm playing like, oh, I'm the number 1 option, like, you know, whatever, give me the ball. And sometimes it's just not. And I'm okay not being the number 1 option. That's fine. I haven't really been this whole this whole season, but I still also feel like I still want that trust for my team. You know what I mean? And if I'm taking a dumb shot, that's fine. We'll talk about it. You know what I mean? I'll give it up. I'll sit out. Whatever it is, I'm comfortable taking that feedback. But I think part of it is also like I'm still not 100%, and I won't be until next season. You know what I mean?
All right.
I actually haven't. I missed my last appointment, but we'll have to see.
So I mean, the thing with injuries is like the mental aspect of the injuries are. I'm not saying the worst part of injuries.
No, it is.
It's like it takes you longer to actually get back to full strength because you're like, oh,
yeah, I'm not the same player I was before I got hurt.
Yeah,
100%.
So what if you step wrong and something happens again, right? So there's always going to be lingering, but I mean, you'll get through that. But
week over week, I'm playing better. I'm playing like more basketball, and I'm playing I feel like I'm feeling my athleticism come back. Yeah. I've just been playing kind of like just relying on old skills rather than like the athleticism that I used to rely on. So I have to just wait for that to come back.
No, man, you look good out there. You're definitely figured out. Like he was saying, injuries are funny in that way. You can be healed, but not have the confidence to like play the same game. Right? Like if you hurt your left foot and you were 1 foot finish. It's going to take a while before like you're comfortable with just 1-2 go up, right?
Yep.
You might second guess for a little while, so it's natural. But I think you look good out there still.
I feel much better now than I did at the beginning of the season. I'll tell you
that's something that matters, right?
You're
only getting better each week. So.
Playing more basketball definitely helps.
3 times this last week. You better score a lot tomorrow. I'm going to be watching.
Let's see.
I'm watching.
Sounds good. Usually, bro, we're against, like, every time we're playing, you guys are playing at the same, every time we've been playing, you've been at the same time, so you can't even watch it.
I've only watched, like, one of your games.
I haven't watched that many.
All right, and last game of the week, looks like a real nail-biter here, 72-71. You guys edge out the win there against Tulkarem. Tell me about it, guys. You guys were there for the whole time. So
Messiah is...
That dude, man.
We put Mahrooz on him, and there's, I think, this one still I sent Mahrooz. He didn't respond to me, so I'm like, damn, did I make him mad? So it was like Messiah standing up there with the ball, and Mahrooz is like looking up at him. Bro, he's like that. And I'm like, damn.
No, I got nothing but respect for these guys, man. Yeah. A lot of these guys played really, really well. Messiah, obviously, it sticks out. He had 23 and 26, and I guarded him the whole time. All 23 and 26 were on me, so I'll tell you, he's not easy to stop, man. That dude is, he's mobile, he's coordinated, he's smart. Like I like his game a lot.
His putbacks are nuts.
And this is another one of these teams, man. They're 2-5, and playing them did not feel like a 2-5.
And it looks like either him or his team are watching the pod because the last game he had like 5 or 6 threes that he shot. Yeah. This game he only took 2. And he's like, really trying to use his body.
This is probably, I think, the hardest game we've had.
Felt like it, man.
Like, the losses or whatever, but like even against Sabra, that was whatever. But like against this team, like we were like, going into it, I was like, how do we cover Messiah? Right? And Mahrooz was like, let me get it. Don't worry, let me get it. But then even then, it was just like down by 8 with I think a minute and a half, 2 minutes to go, and for some reason, Sabra hits massive threes when he's having not a great day.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, I think this biggest team's like Achilles' heel is like the boneheadedness of them. They're a young team, right? Yeah. They're still learning how to play with each other. I think they do play with each other a lot, but calling a timeout when you have no timeouts. And I think they were like, no, I swear to God, we have a timeout left. We have a timeout. I watched the whole game, and they called one with 17 minutes left, and then another with like 5 minutes left.
Oh, wow.
And they called the last one with like two minutes
No, so for sure, like I want to shout the other guys out before I get into this part.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I thought he played really well.
He's great.
He was a game changer, and the way he was playing was so, like, you could tell he has a high IQ because he was getting to the empty spaces, and he was getting opposite of Messiah, giving him the space he needed to work. Like, you could tell he understands the game. On the break, he would run right to an open area, you know, make sure that we had to make a decision out of him or the other guy.
He's a great player.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, across the board, I thought these guys all had. Subhan had a good game. I thought didn't shoot great, but I still feel like
when you have Sinjar covering you, like there was like literally both the same numbers, both going at each other. I'm like, this is like he's like
Sinjar,
he's almost like younger Sinjar.
Yeah.
In a way, like less like he's a rookie Sinjar.
Yeah. Are you talking about Subhan?
Yeah, Subhan.
Okay, yeah.
Because they play decently alike.
Yeah.
But you could tell Sinjar just has way more experience.
To get to your point, like, you know, looking at even if we look at the box score, I mean, I think the differences really fell to a couple. They out rebounded us by 20 rebounds.
Yeah, we're not a strong rebounding team.
Yeah, right. They absolutely out rebounded us, but in a lot of the other areas, I mean, you know, 15 steals to 4. It's really hard.
Sinjar with 9.
Hard to win games like that, man. They had 21 turnovers.
It's the turnovers. I think that's the thing that really sticks out to me is that like they turn the ball over a lot.
That's
man.
a lot.
Mohsen was saying it's funny because Mohsen. So basically, the person.
Mohsen's a great player.
So the person that called the timeout at the very end wasn't even a player on the team. It was Tariq Hamid, who was there. Like he used to be on their team. He dropped because he got hurt, and so he just was basically coaching them.
Wow.
And he's the one who called the timeout.
No.
And so after the game, I think Mohsen said, "Yo, you lost us the game." And he was like, "Bro, no way."
They had us, man. They had us on the ropes, man.
I don't think we would. I really don't think we would have won that game because every single time we pulled it within one. We got down, I think, 10-0 right from the beginning.
Right from the beginning, yeah.
And then we're always fighting back, and then we brought it back to 1. It was like 46-45, lost it again, down by 9.
Wow.
And we'll always bring it back up, and then like we're down by 8, and then I just don't know.
They played a zone against us. They stuck to it, and
that.
You know what? It worked most of the game because if you look at the scoreboard, they were up. I had this overwhelming feeling that we're getting good shots over and over. That made me feel good.
So many more attempts than they did too. You had 82 shots.
82 shots. Half of them were threes.
They had 68.
Listen, man. The thing is, like, when I was constructing this team, I was like, I love shooting threes. I'm not good at them. I love shooting them. So I want my boys to be 3-point shooters.
Yeah.
Right. Sinjar's a solid 3-point shooter.
He is, yeah.
You have Sal and Saman, phenomenal 3-point shooters. Abdu doesn't shoot that many threes at all. But that's the thing, like, I saw Sal play one run with us back in the gym, and I was like, like, I need him. I need him.
I feel like we have real snipers out there. Like, you know, across the league, I think there's some teams that shoot well, but I think if you take, like, the top 2 shooters from each team, Sal and Saman, man, I don't know if you're getting 2 guys that can shoot that well, man. They can shoot well, man.
I was mentioning, like, when we won, we're all smiling and whatever, and Sal was just like, no. Like, I played bad this game. I should not be 6 for 20. Like, this is diabolical. Like, I have to play better. I'm
6 for 20, what is that, 30%? That's still not.
Listen, man, he has
not terrible.
It's not bad. He has different standards, and I respect it. But that's the thing. Like, Sal he is very underrated.
Yeah.
As a defender too, in my opinion, he's a very good defender. But
he's
his
a good passer.
3-point. And Saman had an off day, but like against you guys, he
turned it up for sure.
Yeah.
I tell everybody on our team, man, shoot as much as you want. Like, we have that, you know, trust in each other.
Yeah.
Shoot the ball. None of us second guessed anyone after looking at the stat sheet. Like, you took this many.
It was a good shot. It's a good shot.
We love it. Yeah, we love it. And like I said, as the game was going on and we're down and I'm looking at the scoreboard, my confidence came from this. Every time down, we're getting good looks.
Yeah.
You know, consistently. Open shots in the corner. We're moving the ball well. We're looking to get guys open. So, you know, I don't know how, honestly, that we pulled through. There was a point where I thought we were going to lose, but it goes to show you. You stick at it, you stay consistent, and
honestly, down by 8, I was like, we're not. Like, this is chalk it up, gonna be a bad week, right? Like, pack it up.
The other team, Tulkarem, they kind of have a reputation now of just like losing the game in the very end.
Even
just
like
like
Shatila that one time, right? Like, why would you throw like a full court pass?
Yeah.
There's no need for that.
They're young, man. I think a lot of these guys are a little bit younger, and you know, it kind of shows sometimes. They're good, man. They're talented. A lot of these guys can play.
Oh, they can. I think they're easily. I think you mentioned it earlier. Like, they'll get a couple more wins, right? Maybe 1 or 2 more wins,
for sure.
and they're gonna be that team in the playoffs where like you see them as a higher team, like, damn.
I agree.
Yeah, right? Like,
who wants to see Messiah, man? On round
no,
one,
Nobody does. Nobody does.
I don't want to. Man,
that boy, he's a beast.
That dude's a beast, man. Shout out to him and their whole team. They played really well.
How did he get a technical? What happened there?
The timeout.
It was the timeout.
Oh, okay.
I think they couldn't put Darek on it.
So they put it on him.
Yeah,
That's funny.
which kind of sucks. I think 5 texts and you're done for the year.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
but, I mean, honestly, we'd kind of review that on that league level and just be like, it wasn't really him.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Sure. But they're not 2-5. They're a way better team than 2-5.
Yeah.
I think if they just clean up their little mistakes, they're easily probably like a 5-2 or even a 6-1 team.
Wow.
With Messiah.
No, yeah, for sure. I think Messiah playing like the way he did. And like I said, I gave my all trying to defend him. So, you know, I can see him having a big game in early playoffs and really just catching somebody off guard. And
that's just knock a team out and then just make it to the second round.
I think we have a lot of teams like that in the league, man.
Yeah.
I think, like, you know, just
I love how competitive it is. Like,
right.
the league competition level is, like, pretty in line.
I love it. Yeah.
Even like we talked about Haifa, right? Like they might be 0-7, but they get hot one 4-minute streak. They're hot. They're probably up by like 7-8 points.
Yeah.
I think they clean up their act a little bit, and it's you know they become a dangerous team, right?
Easily. So I think everyone has the capabilities to be that.
Yeah. Which is
team.
Great for the league.
But
good.
For this game, man, you know, shout out to Tulkarem, man. They played well. You know, really had
especially Mohsen as well. Mosiah, obviously, but Mohsen, he had 11 and 11.
I agree.
I think the game plan going into it, I got an earphone from Cinder afterwards. So we planned a 2-3 because we're like they're
zone.
Yeah, zone because they're one of the worst 3-point shooting teams. Let's double up on Messiah.
Yeah.
Whatever. And we got down by 10. Cinder comes over the sun and he's like, "Yo, I told you zone was about it." He's like ripping me a new one. And I'm like, "I know, you're right. Like, it's okay."
That's why I love Cinder because I would just keep on playing.
Yeah, me too.
It was a decently within the team. The zone was a popular opinion, but I understood the necessity of switching.
Right.
So we had to really like lock in that game. And that was like, you know what, like the gaming meme where like, yo, you sit up. Let's get going. Right?
Good game, man. Shout out to
phenomenal game. Yeah, fun game to play.
Fun game
be around. I wasn't really playing, but yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Let's get into the predictions. That's all the games we have for this week. Okay, so week 8. All right, so first game, you guys versus Areeha. Interesting.
I'm not gonna predict who wins because I feel like you're biased, right?
Yeah,
obviously, like you're choosing. Okay,
I chose that
So I mean, you can choose, but this is already.
I'm gonna take you guys.
Yeah,
I think you guys have been unstoppable since you guys have had Singer. Areeha, obviously, they're an amazing team. They play really well. They win by the power of friendship.
Literally the power of friendship.
But I think you're gonna need more than friendship to win this game.
The thing is, like, I have this really bad feeling that Yazan is just gonna rip the boards down, this game.
Tough.
And I think I have also Lil O and Farhan too. They're gonna have good games, and I think Ramsey's gonna hit 1-3. Right, Ramsey. I love Ramsey. I mean him play very similar, so I have to give him one.
Yeah.
But I think Areeha they're gonna have a great game too. I feel like it's gonna be good. I don't know what it's gonna turn out. You saying us? I don't know who's gonna win, but
You got to pick a decision on the pod. You have to make one.
You know what? Let's go Areeha.
Okay.
I got us, man. I love Areeha. Like I said, I think I spoke about him for a few minutes already. I like these guys a lot. From Lil O to Big O to Farhan and Islam. I respect those two dudes so much because they guard me well. Like they don't back down.
They're grown men, right?
Man, their base is so strong. I tell them every time I see them, like they're incredibly strong.
Yeah.
I always walk away with that feeling. You know how people talk about like Khabib, if you guys follow UFC, you don't know it until you're there and you feel a bump and you're like, man, this dude is the center.
Different, man.
So they've got a few guys. I think Yazan can definitely do some damage.
I think him or if Big Omer show up, I think it's gonna be.
Yeah, we're coming in alert. We respect these guys. They're 6-1 for a reason.
I think it's this is one of those teams where it's not like a Messiah or it's not like a Saman. We have. I feel like we're all like the same level. They're as big as ours, right? As big as Nawaz.
It's gonna be effort, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be effort. It's gonna be who hustles the most.
Yeah, we can't let Lil O, if he shoots well or if he doesn't shoot well, I think they can win either way.
Yeah.
But if Farhan and Islam impact the game the way they want to, they're a tough team to beat.
Yeah.
So that's where my focus really is those two, man. They're game changers.
Don't sleep on Jaime, man. Jaime's gonna get 4 points.
Jaime's taking it easy on this dude. I'm telling you, I'm waiting for Jaime to just
turn up. He's gonna drop a 30 ball one day.
Just 30 ball real quick, man. Jaime's taking it easy on us.
Oh, definitely.
All right, guys. Game 2, Yazur versus Akka. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We're 2-5. You know, definitely not a great record, but you know, we're coming in hot. Not hot, but like we're coming in like we are coming in hot. Yazur, they look a little bit more human now that we've had the nerf. We're gonna come in. Yeah, we're gonna come in like, you know, trying our hardest. So you know, you're never gonna discount our effort. You're gonna see us on the court. We're not playing like we're.
So you're choosing Yazur?
No, I'm choosing us. Okay, I'm not. There's no. You won't find me on the pod choosing the other team.
Yeah, I respect it. The thing is, I think I'll like applaud your effort tomorrow. I'll be like, yo, good job. You guys played a good game. Lost by 20. Good job.
No, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's not gonna be a blowout.
I mean, what are we talking about, right? We lost by 45, right? So I mean,
they beat us.
They beat us bad.
Well, you guys were a different team back then. You got hurt as well. You know what I mean?
Still, though, man, I think they just played.
No, they played. I think as of right now, they haven't lost against anybody yet. So they're technically, you could say they're the best team in the league right now.
You gotta get
so we're kind of coming in looking at it like, okay, this is our redemption. You know what I mean? Like if we take this win, it says something to the entire league. And so we're gonna try our best.
Yeah, it's definitely a moment for you guys, and it's like you know, you guys don't have a lot to lose here.
Yeah,
you might as well go out, play hard.
Exactly.
Don't be afraid of anything. And
take your shots.
I think it all comes down to how you guys handle that press. Obviously,
100%.
You know it's coming. You know there's going to be a point in the game where they decide to turn the pressure up, and it's about if you guys have a couple of guys that are willing to just get to the right spots and not try to dribble through it. Don't be a hero. Work through it. I think you guys definitely can keep the game close. And then with shooting, you never know. One guy gets out, and I think
you.
Maybe sure. I think this guy can do it to you, man.
You so sorry, belong with me. You never know. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm thinking Yazur's still sorry, but yeah.
I will
get
take,
out of my house.
I will take Yazur. Being objective, I will take Yazur.
Get out of my house.
I think you guys definitely have a shot to keep it close, for sure.
Right, you have a shot to keep it close.
For sure. And then from there, man, it's you get a puncher's chance. You get out at the end.
Listen, it's a 2-point game with like a couple minutes left. Hopefully,
it's a different Yazur team. So
look, I'm just realistically, obviously, we're always looking to get the win, but a win for me would also just be our team playing well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we play together and we play well, we get the points up on the board. Like I'm going to take that as a personal win for our team. But obviously, it's not going to feel like a win until we get the win. You know what I mean? So we're gonna come in trying hard. So you definitely don't come in thinking we're playing the best team in the league. We're gonna slack. No, like we're coming in hot. So
no, that's good. Yeah.
Okay. Next
so
team.
I hope you have a good game.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I hope so too.
I'm rooting for you.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
All right, Shatila versus Baysan. This is going to be interesting.
I think it's going to be a fun game.
Could be a bounce back week for Shatila.
Yeah.
And this could be the chance for Baysan to prove they're not a 3-4 team.
Right.
You know? So I'm excited to see how it turns out. I think I'm going to take Shatila on this one. They're just the tenacity on that team.
Yeah.
Like they play hard, they play physical, they try to get, they play good defense. They had, I think, before, I don't know if it's like this anymore, but they had the best team in the league, defense in the league. Yeah, it looks like it's different now. Points allowed, they're fourth now. But they also had, one of them was a 4 on 5. Right. One of them was...
Two of them were hurt.
So it's like, a little different now that we're getting into the later...
I did hear with Mo Amin, he was telling me there are other players, I think, did they play against Sabra? Was it? They have one player called, named Gama, right?
Who?
Shatila. I think it was against you guys or Sabra. I can't remember. No, it was against Sabra. And he's probably a really good basketball player. That's what I've been told.
I don't remember.
He's not on the roster yet, but that's what Mo Amin was telling me, that he played a game with them already. And he's like...
It's interesting. I stack kept their last game against...
He wasn't playing last game, yeah.
I played against them 5-on-4. He wasn't there for that.
So he was there against Sabra.
Against Sabra. Okay. Wait, what was their last... Okay, so yeah. Okay, maybe it was that game. I'll have to look. But
yeah, so he's not on the roster like Sean.
Yeah.
He was one of their last-minute additions, and they're saying he should be here this week, so I'm actually looking forward to seeing him play. Because I only saw from the game against Sabra online. I'm like, oh, who's this new player?
Yeah.
Right? So... They're saying he's really good point guard or shooting guard. So if he shows up, then I would give it to Shatila. But I think if Baysan has Musa and if Kareem comes through, then it's I'll still get the Shatila, honestly. Right? Sorry.
Okay. I got Baysan.
Baysan.
I think they take this game.
Okay.
I think it's about that point in the season where,
They
you know,
flip
if
the
they
switch.
are who I think they are, they're going to flip the switch.
Yeah.
So, okay, does it change who you think they are if they lose this game?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's time to kick it up, man.
Yeah.
3-4. If I was them, I
Yeah.
would, you know, be telling
Lock
my
in.
You got like what 3 games left in the season. This is
Yeah.
a big game, you
time
know.
to lock in, right?
Yeah.
So, you know,
It
Okay,
is,
fair enough.
it is.
All right. On the other side, we got Sabra versus Tulkarem.
Tulkarem.
Wow. Let me think about that one. Sabra,
let
Tulkarem.
me take a look.
Listen, I like Sabra. They're a good team. If Rian like kind of learns how he should play and doesn't turn over 8 times, I think they'll be in good hands. But also like just playing them, if like Messiah's like different, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think many people can cover him like good. So I have to give it to Tulkarem if they don't make any dumb plays again. If they're out there tossing half court heaves and calling timeouts and they don't have any, then they're Sabra, right? But yeah, I think it's gonna be Tulkarem.
Yeah. Okay. What about you?
I got Sabra, man. I like Sabra. I think Omar's better than he's shown in some games. I think Rayan is good, man. I think they're a good team. And same thing. I think if they want to compete, you know, now's the time to clean some stuff up. So I'm hoping this is the game where, you know, they come out and really try to establish that they're one of the better teams.
They lose this game, they become just dead neutral. It's 4-4.
That's
for
what I'm
them.
saying. So this is a good time to separate and like show that they're one of the better teams in the league. I think they are.
I think it's going to be an extremely close game for this one. I do think that Tulkarem has the edge here, and it just comes down to Messiah, I think. Like I don't know. They don't have a big, really, so I think they're probably going to stick Mohammed Ben on him, who's versatile defender, and I think he can do a good job against him.
Might get tired out.
But you can't really expect him to really contribute super hard offensively and also be the stopper against Messiah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the role that you had last game. It was tough, and he still had 20 and 20. You know what I mean? You guys came out with
a lot of my offense away from me.
Right. Yeah. So I think it's going to be a very tough match, matchup-wise for Sabra. But again, Tulkarem in every single game, and not even outside of the timeout issue from last game, every single game there's something else that's going wrong here. You know what I mean? Where it's like they lose that composure at the end of the game. So I think that's what's going to keep it close. Is something inevitably will go wrong, and that's what will make it really close. But I think Tulkarem takes the win.
Yeah, they do have. I'm not gonna say bad luck, but they just like knuckleheaded decisions.
Yeah, clean it up. They just gotta clean it up.
Yeah, I think though, like Mahrooz said, Messiah, it's gonna take a lot out of. Even if Mohammed Ben has to cover him all game, it's gonna take a lot out of him. Unless he's like just stamina's out of nowhere, right? Yeah. Then I have to say Tulkarem because also they pushed us to like a 1 point.
Yeah,
game, right?
Yeah,
So,
I got a lot of respect for him, but I'm just hoping Ryan, Omar, and the guys kind of figure it out.
Oh yeah, I think Malik, right? He's,
Malik,
Malik.
I think he needs the ball more.
I totally agree. That's definitely a huge shout out. Like, dude, he's so good at just driving it in, penetrating inside, and just getting an easy layup, or getting fouled, or just kicking it back out. He just never takes a dumb shot.
I don't know why he doesn't. Like the week he got player of the week,
he's kind of passive. Like he'll play really good defense, and he'll just play as a piece. If they trust him, he'll make use of that. If they don't, he won't call for it. You know what I mean? He needs
to lock in, think he's the best, and he needs to go in. I feel like he might be the difference maker here. Like, take the ball from Jan, let him be the point guard here, and like let him run the court because he has that IQ. I feel like he does. So it could be different if things change a little bit, but yeah, at the moment, Tulkarem looks kind of good. They're on. Even though they lost, I would say they're on a hot streak.
For sure. All right, Bir Seb'a versus Haifa. This is going to be an interesting matchup. I can't wait to see this one. I think Haifa can pull this out. I think this is definitely their most winnable game as of yet. But
I think Salman is going to go crazy.
Yeah, I think Bir Seb'a takes it, in my opinion, especially after hearing Anas saying that, like, he's talked to Zayd. He's going to also they're also going to take a different role there. It's going to be
nice to hear.
Yeah, I think honestly, this is going to be the first game that Bir Seb'a looks extremely polished, which is bad news for Haifa.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have to see it first. We've never seen it yet.
Yeah.
But Haifa also is looking a lot better towards the end of the season here. This last game against Areeha really kind of was like a wake-up call, I think, to me at least, when I was watching it. I watched some of it, but after reading the stats, and hearing about it, it's just they were really in it there until the end, So, props to Haifa for that last game. I'm really hoping these guys get a win. Because it's really demoralizing going 0-7, to start the league. And It's their first time in this league, and they really fight. So let's see how it carries over.
I like Haifa. Like everyone was underdog story. I'm a fan of them.
Yeah.
But they don't. Their big is Yousaf Al-Shanawi, who's like semi 6'2". Mahrooz is like a Salman boy, right? Like I do like Salman as well.
Yeah.
And this thing is Salman is just really polished in the way he plays, and he's a big. Like he knows his role.
Yeah.
He's gonna stay.
He was tough to stop for us too. He got 20 boards on us.
Exactly. So I think he might go
monster,
25 and like 15 or 18 points. Easy.
Yeah,
right?
I think him, and I think Ennis really has a good bounce back game right now. I think he did, I remember the game against Haifa. They put a lot of pressure on you from the 3-point line, but you can get yourself into the paint if you're patient. You find to kind of pick your spots, and I think Ennis is going to do that this week. So
it's going to be a physical game for sure, in my opinion. I think Desar will probably be on some man. Let's see how that turns out. But he relatively is a good defender.
Yeah. He is.
Let's see how it turns out though. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I think Elton's going to have a good game too, and Usama.
You need a bounce back game because he's been shooting up some pretty bad games as far as I remember. Maybe I might be wrong.
He had a good game last week, I think, but against us, he struggled a little bit.
Against Areeha, he was 2 for 13. Against you guys, he was 2 for 12.
Yeah.
Tulkarem, he's 5 for 16. These are a couple games here in a row. He is a great shooter. Again, I know that I've seen it. We've seen it. You know what I mean? 6 for 21 against Baysan, but. Yeah, maybe it's turned down the volume. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Who knows? I
think it's gonna be good.
He's a good shooter. Nobody's doubting that. I think. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, I got Bir Seb'a though, man. I think Ennis and Sulaiman are gonna have monster games.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Ajjur versus Nazareth. This is gonna be. I think it's gonna be interesting. This is the new look Ajjur again. Hassan wasn't there last week, so it's gonna be interesting to see how they mesh with him. Right. But. I think overall you say, it's going to be a blowout. Nazareth's going to take the dub. I have Nazareth for this game, but Ajjur is better than you'd think. Ajjur is a good team. I think it's going to be a close game, but I take Nazareth in the end.
I think it's going to be Nazareth. I think Mana, he's going to lock in.
Yeah.
He always kind of, the thing with Mana is he kind of rolls out of bed, drives an hour, and then he's playing sleepy the first 20 minutes. Then the second half, he wakes up a little bit and he starts going up
20 for 20.
20 for 20 then, right? And that's he rolls out of bed and gets 20, right? So I think it's gonna be more difficult than other games, but I think it's gonna be Nazareth because I think Shafiq comes back and Ilyas is still gonna be there and Amir Hassan still it's they're dogs all that whole team. So
I agree. I can't bet against Men and Shafiq, man.
Yeah.
These two dudes are so tough. They have Ilyas, who's one of my favorite guys in the league, man. I think he just impacts winning beyond the stat sheet. And he looks good on the stat sheet, too.
Yeah.
But he impacts winning beyond the stat sheet. Amir Hassan, you spoke about him, man. He's one of the most underrated guys. This is just such a good team. I can't bet against them.
Fair enough.
Same.
Okay, those are all our predictions, and typically we would have top plays, but I'm not doing that this week. Okay. Sorry to make you watch.
Damn, I'm watching.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, man. I really apologize.
It's okay. Not that good anyways.
No, I just had a busy weekend in the interest of getting this posted right away. I'm trying to do as minimal editing as possible.
Sure.
If I were to just post it, it would be in 3-4 hours. So it's nobody's gonna be able to watch it by then. So I'm just gonna have to get it posted as soon as possible.
Gotcha.
But it won't happen again.
It's okay.
We appreciate your volunteering, man. You're the man.
You're good.
Okay, that's our podcast for the week. I really enjoyed you guys coming on. You guys did a great job.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. It was great to have you guys, and see you guys on Sunday, inshallah.
Have a good week, boys.